Okay, so what is the Cogmed training program and how does it work? It was developed by a Swedish psychologist 10 years or so ago and is distributed by Pearson. Pearson are the educational giant famous for textbooks and qualifications like Edexcel and BTEC. So it's a tried and tested system that we're offering, but first a short explanation about what this working memory thing is all about. As this slide here shows, it's like a mental clipboard. For example, if we're given some road directions, we store them in our working memory. We may try and visualize them or keep repeating them to ourselves, but eventually they drop off this clipboard. And as most of us know, some people are better at remembering those directions than others. Psychologists reckon that the average adult can retain about 7 items, for example a 7-digit phone number. Children aged 4 can store about 3 items, and this increases by 1 item every 3 years. In adults, forgetting stuff is inconvenient, but for children it can have a huge impact on their education. For example, if they have poor working memory, they'll struggle to solve simple maths problems, as they may recall the first step in a solution but forget the second and third. So for adding up simple columns of numbers, they need to remember to carry forward tens from previous columns, etc. With practice it's fine, but if they constantly forget what they've been told, their marks are likely to suffer, as is their behaviour if they get frustrated. There are 2 main sorts of clipboard. One where instructions are given verbally, which incidentally is most common in schools, and visual, where we see or read something like a road map. Okay, so when we've got this information on our clipboard, we have to use it or lose it. We can use it by putting it into the central executive and doing something like solve a problem or writing a number down. This will then end up in long-term memory if it's needed. The episodic buffer is another temporary storage where we can combine auditory and visual and doing things, like actually doing a maths problem before using it. So clearly being able to hold information in working memory is important in learning. To identify who may have problems with working memory, we use a diagnostic called ePace. This is a new 40-minute online program which gives a rating for 11 skills and abilities. So if someone scores 1 or 2 in visual or auditory working memory, then we recommend some sort of intervention like the Cogmed course. There's another video on the ePace system and what the other 9 skills show, so click on the ePace tab if you'd like more information on that part. The Cogmed system consists of 11 memory training exercises designed to expand the working memory. Each exercise works a different memory muscle, and through repetition the working memory capacity increases. Some exercises are numbers, some are graphic, all require remembering a sequence. All are adaptive, i.e. they get harder if the answers are right and easier if the answers are wrong. For example, this one here asks you to repeat numbers backwards. The chart on the left shows the level you're working at, i.e. how many numbers. The chart shows below how much longer the exercise will last. Each exercise lasts for about 4 or 5 minutes before moving on to another one. This exercise asks you to recall a sequence of lights in a box. And top right you'll see there are statistics from the course and how well you're doing. Progress is tracked via the reports section. Your Cogmed coach reports on these on a weekly basis to check the training is going okay and offer some suggestions if there's a dip or potentially a spike in scores. Progress is tracked every week on the Cogmed progress indicators. A base score is taken on days 1 and 2 via 3 tests. These are repeated every 5 days and should show an upward trend to show how the improved working memory is being applied to these everyday tasks like maths. There are 2 different versions of full Cogmed program, one for adults and one based around a robot, which is a bit more fun for youngsters or fun-loving adults. It also includes robo racing at the end of the training as a small reward, ideal if you want all pupils to finish at the same time, as they can robo race until everyone's finished. There's also a preschool version which is a lot shorter and less demanding. The exercises can be done on an iPad, but the instructions are verbal, so must have speakers or headphones attached. The usual course length is 5 50-minute sessions a day for 5 weeks, i.e. a total of 25 sessions. 50 minutes is normally the maximum time, so it's fine to take a short break or 2 in that time. But for those who struggle to concentrate, there is the option of 25 or 35 minutes a day, and this extends the sessions to 30 or 40, i.e. 6 or 8 weeks. You need to select one before starting, as they can't be swapped once started. A key question, of course, is does it work? A meta-study is one that takes all the various research done on subjects and summarises them. So for Cogmed, that's about 70 studies that have been done. This particular meta-study in 2012 showed that overall 80% had improved their working memory and that it's particularly effective in younger people. The retention figure is measured after 12 months, showing that the effect doesn't wear off very much. But the best way to check is to review posts by parents. Just Google Cogmed and see what reviews you get. There are lots of reviews that are from the US, but it's the same system. This chart here shows some children will benefit more than others. It's from a school and it's based on the CPI scores. And the good news is that you can try out all the Cogmed exercises for free. There's a link on the website, or you can pause this video now and copy this link down. It'll ask you which version you want to try. So choose whichever one you want. You can use this test login as many times as you like, so you can try all 3 versions if you wanted to. There are other working memory training courses available. For example, Luminosity and Jungle Memory are 2 examples, and both are cheaper than Cogmed, but they are more games oriented. Cogmed is a bit more serious, a bit harder, and therefore we believe a bit more likely to see the best results. Plus you have a real life Cogmed trained coach to support the programme. And all coaches must either be a qualified educational psychologist or an educationalist. And because it's a hard programme, we can also advise on the reward structures to ensure a child's effort is maintained and the course completed. For the direct-to-parent service, that includes one of our elephant-wise dog tags, personalised with their name in the colour of their choice. The first step, though, is the ePace diagnostic to check if working memory is deficient. And you can take this now and get the results instantly. Just click on the ePace tab and take the ePace test. So that's a quick run through of what the Cogmed program is, how it works, and why we think it's better than some of the competition. If you've got any questions, please just ask. You can phone this number or email us. And hope you join us. Thanks.